James and I were just discussing about how football season is now wrapped up. Super Bowl was a week and a half ago. We meant to podcast last week. Last week for me was a blur. I had a interview that I was preparing for. You seemed busy, and I just said, screw it, we'll do it next week. So
Yeah.
now we got to recap the Super Bowl. So Tampa Bay Bucks throttle the Kansas City Chiefs. But first, you claim to have wanted to pick two bones with me. I'm glad I remembered this. I want to know what they were because one of them I know for sure I'm starting to look right about.
What was I only recall one. What's the one you're talking
I thought one was Carson Wentz, the Carson Wentz trade. You were like, I got a bone to pick with you because I didn't think they'd get a first-round pick for him.
True.
And now it's looking like that's going to be the case.
Personally, I still think they do, but we'll see. We'll see.
I will say this. The Bears are very desperate. I mean, head coach and GM are desperate. I will not be shocked if in a month or so they just toss Philly a first-round pick and maybe a
But
third.
you are right, though. It is definitely shifting more towards your take than mine. You are right.
But what was the other one? Wasn't it Super Bowl related?
It was Tom Brady related.
Oh, yeah.
So are you ready to say now that Tom Brady's the GOAT? Because the other day you said Aaron Rodgers was still the GOAT to you. Stop pausing. Stop pausing. This is not even a fucking conversation.
I'm not gonna say it.
Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than any team in the NFL. There have been teams where 3,000 people that work for the team in unison have been trying to win championships for what is there 55 Super Bowls?
Yes.
He has more than every team. Every team.
Yes.
That's fucking nuts, bro. People don't even understand how insane that is.
I look, my opinion has always been I think he's a great quarterback who has been incredibly fortunate in his career.
Oh, give me a break. What's the common denominator on every fucking one of those Super Bowls, man? Come on. You don't luck into fucking...
I didn't say luck. I said he's been incredibly fortunate.
Fortunate is a very nice way of saying lucky.
No. For real though. He has been at least two of them. Although you could make the same for his three losses.
That's what I always said because a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, he could easily have 10 if you look at the line." But I'm like, dude, he kind of pulled a couple of them out of his ass, so it kind of works out. I mean,
there's two. I mean, so there's one for sure where I'm like, he gets the credit for it, even though he was not on the field for the game-winning play, and that was against Seattle. He gets all the credit for it, even though he threw two interceptions in the game, and Malcolm Butler made the play at the goal line.
Agreed.
I would argue even this one. I mean, he won MVP, but I remember after that game, I was like, did we watch the same game? Tampa Bay's defensive front was the story of that game.
Oh, no. I mean, 100%, but I mean, they did score 21 points.
True. I agree. But yeah, so I about this game, though, I'm... What was that?
He's not a dominant quarterback. I understand that. You're 100% right there. But he just wins. I mean, he just wins every fucking time. And it's like people sip into this and this, but I'm like, dude, they win every time. Like when he's on the team, they fucking win every time.
No. You see, I have a problem with that right there. Wins aren't a quarterback stat. I have said this the entire time we've been on this podcast. Wins aren't a quarterback stat. Wins are a team stat.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Wins are team stat. They're also a quarterback. Yes, they are. Maybe not on a season-to-season basis, but you're not gonna tell me that the quarterbacks who win the most aren't the greatest. They are. Think about all the winners. They're the top 5 quarterbacks ever. Name all of them right now. Name your top 5. All winners.
Dude, there's too many. I can't give you a top 5.
Name me a great quarterback who regularly finished with a shitty record. Doesn't happen. It is a team stat. I get it. I get where you're coming from of like, all right, dude, like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, like, it's Tom Brady every time. But it's like, dude, Tom Brady never loses. He has zero. Has he ever even won under double-digit games in a season ever in his whole career? I don't think he has.
I know he did in 2002, I believe.
Yeah, no, you're right. The year after their first Super Bowl, they did go 9-7. They did go 9-7. You're right. But I mean, just like, I get it, dude. But it's like people don't understand the intangibles that go into them. Like Tom Brady is the best leader of all time. That's why he goes to Tampa Bay and they go from a 7-9 team to a fucking.
Are you really gonna pull the take that he leads his defense to play better? That whole argument, I think that's the dumbest argument.
He did. He absolutely did. What do
Oh
you mean?
God!
What was the difference? What was the difference in the team from this year and last year? And don't you dare fucking say somebody like Leonard Fournette or Antonio
No,
Brown.
the difference in the team this year was the quarterback not throwing 30 interceptions. Tampa was a playoff team. They just didn't have the quarterback.
What does that tell you? He came in. He threw fucking 40 touchdowns and 4,600 yards.
Yeah, they made an upgrade. They made an upgrade. Jameis Winston isn't that good. They made an upgrade. A guy who threw fewer interceptions. That's all it took for Tampa. Hey, Jameis, quit throwing 30 interceptions.
If what I was talking about was over the course of like 4 or 5 years, I'd be like, all right, you have a point. It's 2 decades worth of proof. Like, what more do you need? Every team he's on wins. He's won with 3 completely different Patriots teams. One Super Bowl with 3 completely different rosters. The only thing that was the same was him and Bill. Then he left Bill, went to another team. Granted, was talented. It's not like he took a fucking scrub team and won a Super Bowl with him. But like, dude, Tampa Bay did not even win 8 games last year, and I get it.
No, they were 8-8.
They went 7-9.
Were they 7-9? I thought they were 8-8. Whatever.
I mean, same thing. But yes, they went 7-9. Like, it's him, bro. Like, all those kids, the Chris Godwins and the fucking, you know, Shaq Barrett's and the fucking, you know, like. Dude, they go win for him. Like, that team changed. Go ask Bruce Arians. Listen to his speech. He said he let Tom Brady coach on the field. Go listen to his speech. Bro, you are a fucking hater.
I'm not a hater. I don't have a problem with him. I hate this argument that he, you know, he's such a great leader that he, the people around him just rise up. I'm like, give me a freaking break. Give me a break with that.
You played football. You know that's a real thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. These are professionals who get paid to do it, James.
So what's that mean? Are you going to sit there and tell me that Tom Brady had no effect on the direction of that team?
No, he clearly did because he didn't cost his team as much as Jameis did.
But dude, they went from an under 500 team to a Super Bowl team. That wasn't just because of Tom Brady. It's because he elevated the team around him.
No, he didn't. The defense was fine last year. The problem was Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions. About half of them were pick sixes.
The same roster went from 7-9 to a Super Bowl championship. He beat probably the best roster in the league outside. 2 of the best rosters in the league. The fucking Packers and the Saints beat them. Guess what Aaron Rodgers didn't do? Capitalize on 3 fucking interceptions.
I agree.
You think, let me ask you this. You think Tom Brady's not winning the game when the other quarterback throws 3 picks? Come on.
I mean, generally, no.
He doesn't lose.
I mean, any given Sunday it can be different. That was why I paused, but generally, no. Although I would say the same for Aaron Rodgers. If the other team throws the ball, it throws 3 interceptions, Rodgers is going to win that game 9 times out of 10. That's the case with every quarterback.
I get that what I'm saying isn't quantifiable, so it's like it's not like I can prove it, but to me it's a fact. I mean, what more do you need to see? Like, talented teams don't play well all the time. Bruce Arians, like, I get it. Jameis threw 30 picks. I get it. You go from under 500 to a Super Bowl just off of Tom Brady's talent? No, because he's not that fucking talented.
Well, then that's against your argument you're making.
How is it? I just said he's a winner. I never argued his talent anymore. Like, he's still a top, 6 or 7 talent in the league. Like, he's not an elite quarterback anymore, but he's better.
So, my whole thing about the greatest of all time has always been talent. And I'd never have considered Brady to be the most talented quarterback ever.
So you don't think that a guy, I could easily name 10 quarterbacks more talented than Tom Brady, easily.
And that's what I mean. When I say the GOAT, I'm saying the most talented.
Any of them even have half of his Super Bowls?
What's that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What are you talking about?
So Aaron Rodgers is easily more talented. He's not greater than Tom Brady by any metric. Any metric.
By talent, yes, he is, and that's that's my defining basis.
Talent isn't greatness, though. See?
How is talent not greatness? If he's talented and plays well, he's great.
Aaron Rodgers isn't hate to tell you. Aaron Rodgers isn't great. He's not.
Oh my lord.
He's not. That's my new fucking hot take. Aaron Rodgers is a career underachiever. Period. 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 One fucking Super Bowl is abysmal. Abysmal. He's been to one Super Bowl. One. Tom Brady switched fucking conferences, went to an under 500 team, and bro, come on. This isn't even an argument, bro.
Dude,
This is
you're bouncing off the walls
It's
here.
embarrassing. How can you possibly say that Aaron Rodgers is better all time than
Because
Tom Brady?
he is a better player than Tom Brady
He
is.
throws the ball better because he throws the ball better. He's not a better leader than Tom Brady. He's not a better winner than Tom Brady. He's not better in the clutch than Tom Brady. He's not going to have the longevity Tom Brady has. He's definitely not a better teammate. Tom Brady has been in the league for 22 years, and have you ever heard anybody say something negative about him? Any coaches, any former players? None. How many talk shit on Aaron Rodgers?
Two. Really one. One teammate. And that's Greg Jennings. That's Greg Jennings.
He doesn't even like him. He doesn't even like his own family. They don't like him.
I'm not saying he's not weird. He clearly is.
Shane, Aaron Rodgers does not have 1% of the intangibles Tom Brady has, and that's why he doesn't win more. Period. That's why he doesn't win more. I don't.
That's a stupid take. That's a dumb take.
No, it's not. Dude, saying Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady all time because he throws a football better is a stupid take. Because that doesn't mean shit. Josh Allen has a better arm than
dude, this is back to what I'm saying. Championships are a team accomplishment. It's not a player accomplishment.
He has 7. Are you going to tell me it was the team every time? Like, no, it wasn't. He's the common denominator. He has more fucking Super Bowls than Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers combined. What does that tell you? How can you even argue that?
He's been throughout the course of his career, he's had a lot on his side. That's my argument.
This is another thing. He didn't even win the Super Bowls with his best teams. The best teams he had, he didn't even win. He's carried. Dude, I don't even know what else I can say. Like, dude,
we're way off topic here. We're just supposed to be discussing the Super Bowl.
No, this is perfect. This is the topic. The Super Bowl sucked. It was 31-9. It sucked. And I felt bad for Patrick Mahomes. Wasn't his fault they played like that. I actually think more of him after that game because he played to the final whistle. That's all I have to say about the game. This is about Tom Brady, and I'm going to keep talking about this.
Hang on. Something popped up on my computer.
No, that's all right. The game sucked.
It did.
And yeah, dude, like they had a good D-line, and the O-line was absolutely trash. Like, I get you. I'm not saying Tom Brady won that Super Bowl by himself. He didn't even win. Like, I could easily say that Tom Brady was probably only like 40% of the reason they won that Super Bowl tops. But that's what I'm trying to tell you is Tom Brady went to that franchise, a perennial, terrible team that didn't even win 8 games last year, and ran through Hall of Fame quarterback after Hall of Fame quarterback to get to the Super Bowl and then beat the best fucking player in the league. I don't know what else to tell you, dude. What is he?
Look, he won the Super Bowl when he really didn't play that well. His defense really carried him to the Super Bowl.
He played great. What do you mean?
Have you seen his numbers, dude? His numbers weren't impressive this playoffs.
Did you watch the game? Are you talking about the whole playoffs or the Super Bowl?
I'm talking about the entire playoffs.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay.
Super Bowl, he was fine. He was fine.
So your argument is because he didn't carry a terrible team to a Super Bowl?
Hold on. If you're calling Tampa Bay terrible, I can't argue with you anymore. If you're calling Tampa Bay's roster terrible, I can't argue with you anymore.
I didn't say their roster was terrible.
Did you? I thought you just said he was carrying a terrible roster.
No, I did not say that.
Did you?
The roster's obviously good. They have great defensive linemen and they have great wide receivers. Their offensive line isn't fantastic, even though it's significant.
Dude, that O-line played very well in the playoffs.
No, they did. But I'm saying, like, talent-wise, that's not it. That was not a top O-line. Like, that was actually their biggest hole last year was their O-line. And their D-backs are pretty shitty. They played great, by the way. Todd Bowles.
Yeah, if you're grabbing receivers left and right.
Todd Bowles was probably the MVP of that Super Bowl. But I don't, dude, I've seen so many people have the same take as you, and it's just like, what does one man have to do?
I don't think very many people have the same take as me at all.
No, maybe not the Aaron Rodgers thing, but I think a lot of people, dude, I've seen so many people call him the luckiest player in NFL.
He is. And that's not to demean him. It's not. I've said for years, just because I call you lucky does not mean that it's a bad thing. Some people are lucky, but sometimes people work hard enough to deserve that luck. That's what I'm getting at.
Shane, if you go to the Super Bowl statistically every other year, how can you call that luck? In any way. In any way. Patriots rarely had the best roster in the league. In fact, probably the 2 times they had the better league, they lost in the Super Bowl.
Look, it's not something I can't. It's really not something you can explain. So you have me backed up into a corner here.
Has not benefited from elite talent. You can not even close easily, except maybe the 2007 year when Randy Moss was just absolutely shitting.
Look, his first 3. People don't want to talk about this at all. His first 3 Super Bowls.
Game manager.
He was a game manager surrounded by talent and carried by talent and coaching. I'll argue that forever. Then I will say this: it switched gears. He became great when the game changed and quarterbacks were more important, and throwing the ball more, etc. Then it did change. 2007, they should have won that game. 2011, he probably should have won that game. Then they did finally get a break in 2014, which again I argued that he didn't even play that well, shouldn't have really won that game.
Is who they should have beat, dude. He had 500 yards passing against them.
They should have beaten the Eagles. And then there was they beat the Rams. Come on, his defense gave up 3 points against the Rams. I mean,
no, 100%.
He has won his last 2 Super Bowls with his defense allowing a combined 12 points.
Dude, this is the thing about top people. If you knew me in 2000, early high school, I fucking hated Tom Brady. I didn't like him at all.
I don't have a problem with him. I just think he's incredibly fortunate.
So what's Aaron Rodgers? Just the unluckiest guy in the world? He's just so fucking good, but he never wins shit because he's just so unlucky. That's fucking horseshit, Shane. That is bullshit.
It's 50-50. He's unlucky, and he does deserve some criticism.
No, don't get me wrong. I get it. Aaron Rodgers has only had a really good defense a couple times.
Once, James. Once. When was the last time his defense gave up 9 points in a big game? Even in the playoffs, you can't point it to me. You can't. Where is it? I don't know. Where is it? And his
you have a point. If the Bucks only scored 14 points, you might have a point. They scored in the 30s, dude. They were gonna win that game regardless.
No, I agree. But if the Chiefs offense shows up, who knows what that game is my point.
And that's the thing. I don't even want to say the Chiefs offense didn't show up when I.
No, I know the Bucks defense was great.
So, dude, I almost bet like $2,000 on the Chiefs, and in the beginning, I just didn't get the bet in. I was like, whatever, dude. I don't want to lose it anyway. So who cares? You never know who's gonna win the game. Then I heard what happened to the Chiefs O-line and the shuffling they did. Right tackle to left tackle, right guard to right tackle, third string right guard. I was like, dude, they're gonna lose. There's no way they can block that, and that's exactly what happened. I didn't know it was that bad until literally the opening starting shit. And they're like, yeah, this is what the Chiefs had to do to their O-line. I was like, dude, they're not blocking JPP, Sue, and fucking Shaq Barrett with that. There's no way.
I expected them to be more quick game with I can't even think of Tyreek Hill and all those guys. And they didn't. They let them sit back, and I just don't know how you could do that when your left tackle is out. And that O-line, which I said last year, after they were losing 20-10, I was like, they got to beef up that O-line, and they really didn't. And then they were very fortunate to come back from that in that game against San Francisco to begin with in the Super Bowl. And their O-line didn't play well, so it really came back to bite them this time around. That was one of the things I said before making a pick. I said that worries me a lot not having Eric Fisher. But I still expected their offense to pull through, short game. But it didn't, and they didn't run the ball really at all. So, I mean, credit to Tampa Bay, obviously. That defense, wow. I mean, I owe a lot of apologies to that defense. I said for a while that I did not think that defense would be able to do anything. I didn't think the back end would be able to match up with any good passing game, and I was dead wrong.
By the way, to be honest with you, who did you think the most impressive single player in that game was? Because I know who it was.
Probably Sean Murphy-Bunting. I mean, they held Tyreek Hill in check.
Holy shit, that dude is fast, bro.
Who'd you say?
Devin White.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
He might be the best linebacker in the NFL.
You could talk me into it, and I want to...
Just because Bobby Wagner...
I just want to say this real quick, because I see a lot of... And everyone was saying this last year, or saying something different last year. But now, all of a sudden, the conversation is now you got to use a first-round pick on an inside linebacker. Look what Tampa Bay has done this postseason. And I'm like, look, this changes yearly. Like last year it was, you need weapons like Kansas City. Now you need an inside linebacker like Tampa. No. There are different ways to win.
You want to know what teams do wrong? And it sounds, I'm coming home from my fucking 9-to-5 desk job telling fucking NFL teams what they do wrong. Dude, you just pick elite players. Dude, Devin White was an elite player coming out. Yeah, dude, I'm not going to take an inside linebacker that's like the 40th ranked prospect and like I need a linebacker and I'm going to take him at 25. Like, that's probably a bad move. Dude, Devin White was a legitimate top like 3 or 4 player in that draft,
yes.
And they picked him high, and he turned out like, dude, that dude was literally. I felt like every time somebody off the ground, it was him. He tackled him. Like, it was crazy. He was everywhere. It was
but what I'm saying is there are totally different ways to win. The Chiefs last year won without very good inside linebackers. I mean, they're different. Like I said, there are different ways to win. What is the same, and what I told you, James, after the game was the formula is still basically the same to win. You got to have a great quarterback, you got to have a great O-line, great pass rush, and great DBs.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that hasn't changed. Tampa Bay still did that. I'm not sure they have great DBs, but they're above average. Great pass rush, which I thought was going to be a problem this year.
Average. They definitely played probably above how good they actually are. Dude,
the O-line and DBs for Tampa played way above average.
Absolutely.
D-line, I always thought their pass rush was average, and I was dead wrong about that too. Great down the stretch.
It's not to bring it back to this. So you don't think that average, like, you don't think Tom Brady had anything to do with like average players playing way above?
No. What? He's a quarterback. What does he have to do with that? We're talking about development. No, you're putting. I think the truth is somewhat in the middle here. I'm probably not giving you enough credit. I don't think you're giving me enough credit either.
Okay. I mean, well, no. The thing is, I'm not even saying what you're saying is wrong because, like I said, I can't prove it. But it's just like to think that like having the greatest player of all time in your locker room saying, "Did you see it?" He texted every fucking player on the roster, all 52 of them, and said, "We're winning tomorrow." And
you don't think any other quarterback does that?
No, I don't.
Look.
I don't.
I don't want to come off as some Brady hater. I don't. I do think he's a great leader. I do think teammates seem to really like him a lot.
He's the best leader of all time.
But I think people pat him on the back for the most little, like the smallest things, and tell him how great he is. I'm like, you don't think any other quarterback in the league does that?
They don't.
Oh,
Who wins like him? Who wins like him? Nobody. He never even had an offensive fucking coach his whole career until this year. He fucking played with a defensive coach. He has multiple MVPs. He's going to have every passing record. He has more Super Bowls than every fucking team in the league. I don't know what else you want me to say, man.
This is why I hate this argument, because I'll be honest, like, there's not much I can say other than I just don't think he's that talented. And he's not.
Well, there's not much I can say either, because like I said, I can't quantify it, but it's just like, I don't know how you could see, like, it's the eye test, dude. Like, and I think there's a lot
the eye test, just about every throw he makes is a check down.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing. It works for him. It does work for him. It works. It's his formula, and it works. But I watch him, like, nothing just as crazy other than the win. And, that is what it's all about. Just win, baby, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know, man. I really like that debate we just had. It's fucking fantastic. But I'll go to the fucking grave with this one, dude. He has a very good chance, because I bet they'll probably get a free agent or two this offseason of going back.
Tampa's in I wouldn't say a very good spot, because they have some players who are about to be free agents, like Chris Godwin and Shaq Barrett. I don't know if they'll be able to keep both, but they're in a good spot to retain them, because they have $30 million in cap space. They'll be able to keep some of their guys.
They'll restructure a couple guys, and I think they're going to franchise Chris Godwin, and Chris Godwin will be gone when Tom Brady's gone. That's what I think happens personally.
Who the hell knows when that's going to happen?
Yeah. Dude, I know. Dude, 40 touchdowns, 4,600 yards. No fucking Eagles quarterback has ever done that. They're fucking like a 100-year-old team. Never done that. Crazy, man.
Well, crazy. I mean, the league has only been a passing league for like the last decade, so.
Also, until this year, they had the same amount of MVPs. Aaron Rodgers, and so it's not like Aaron Rodgers is old, like, it's not like the Peyton Manning Tom Brady debate that I see a lot of people have. Like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning has like 5 MVPs, dude. Like
Yeah.
I think that's a better argument than Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Way better argument. Peyton Manning was the player who got me into football. I didn't love football until I watched Peyton Manning play.
That's your prerogative. All I know, the thing I'll say about Peyton, and he, obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. The thing I'll say about Peyton though is what made him great was his ability to study the game, playbook, cerebral. But when everything went to crap with Peyton, like game plan wasn't working, whatever, he was about useless. Borderline about useless.
No, I agree with you because he was never. Dude, he never had the fantastic, laser arm. He obviously was probably one of the least athletic quarterbacks ever.
The reason why I bring that up is I look at that Super Bowl against Seattle, where I thought Denver was going to win that game. That offense was rolling. I thought Denver was going to win that game. And the offense did not show up. First play of the game was a snap over his head. The playbook went out the door after that, and he could never recover. That was the prime example I go to with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I do not disagree. I do not disagree.
What else? Are you outside your house? Are you parked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll have to go in the store.
Some big free agency news, I suppose. J.J. Watt is the big news so far. I think Patrick Peterson is another one. A.J. Bouye is one. All of those guys, I don't see how...
Von Miller today.
Oh, yeah, I did see Von Miller. I don't think he's a free agent right now, is he, though?
No, they're saying he's going to be one.
Is he?
That's who you should go after over J.J. Watt, in my opinion.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say we shouldn't go after Von Miller. The problem is we are not in a position right now to be getting high-end free agents, and Von Miller is a high-end free agent. We are right now close to $30 million. Well, not anymore. After we restructured Bakhtiari, we are now close to about $19-20 million over the cap. We got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be more than just restructuring. We could restructure Zadarius Smith or Aaron Rodgers and free up a lot. I don't know if we'll restructure Aaron Rodgers.
Are you guys losing anybody this offseason?
Yeah. Looks like Aaron Jones is one. Kevin King and Corey Linsley are the big ones.
I did know Aaron Jones, but I think that's as good as he is. I honestly
Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones, but we could do without. He's a running back. We both know we have the same opinions on running backs. You can pick one up in the offseason for cheap.
Yep.
Kevin King. Look, we saw the NFC Championship. He's clearly a weakness. Although I still think he can be above average at times.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The big one, though, is Corey Linsley. And I would really hate to lose him because the offense was just different when he's at center. But at the end of the day, he's like a 30-year-old center going into his third contract. I could see wanting to move on.
Good teams move on from those players.
It's something you don't want to happen, especially when you just gave Bakhtiari his third deal. But I think Bakhtiari and Linsley are two different. One's a center, got to have a left tackle. Center, about to be 30. I don't know. Just different. I'd love to keep Linsley. I just don't think it's going to happen.
You'd be surprised. He's been there his whole career, right?
Yeah. He has been the starting center for Green Bay like the last 5 years or something.
I was going to say, you'd be surprised how many players will take like a little bit of a discount to just stay where they've been their whole life.
Well, I don't see it happening. Linsley said on the end-of-season press conference that him and Green Bay had not had any contact. So I think that's pretty evident right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I think they have some guys that they feel good about that can slide into center and play well. Eldon Jenkins is one who was a Pro Bowl guard this year, was a center in college. I think he could slide in there and play well. Lucas Patrick is another guy who are going to be way cheaper than Linsley at the end of the day. Say what you want, but it's kind of the Moneyball approach. If you can get a guy who's just as good or just a little bit fraction of worse for cheaper, that's the guy you want.
Dude, in a hard salary cap league, which is what all the leagues should do, by the way, it's always Moneyball. It's about value. It's not about how good is the player. If I have to pay, if you're still an elite player at like 32 years old, that doesn't mean you deserve a fucking 5-year contract or something. It's you know what I mean. It is what it is. So, I agree. I agree with you. The only
guy I think we have a legit chance to sign is J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I agree.
And even then, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think he's going to take a serious pay cut to come to Green Bay, and I don't know if he will.
Green Bay's in the league. I think that there's 2 teams ahead of them.
Yeah, I don't think they're in the lead.
But obviously, very much in the running.
Who are the other 2, you think?
Obviously the Steelers.
I don't think the Steelers are
You
in worse
can't
cap
gain money by-
situation than
dude,
Green Bay.
You can move money around. Unless you're the Eagles or the Saints right now, you can move money around. Like they'll make it work. Like believe me, and he's not going to get a lot of money. He's just not.
Yeah, like I've seen some people say he's gonna get like $16 million. That was what he was projected to make
he's
this
gonna
year.
get like $5 million.
If it's $5 million, Green Bay will take that.
Yeah, exactly. And
But if he's asking for 8 to 10, maybe 8. But if it's $10 million, I'll be like, no, I'm not paying you for 10.
JJ Watt is to a point where he has to worry about his legacy way more than his wallet. Like he's made money. JJ Watt's going to be famous forever. I mean, he's going to be able to make money well after the NFL. It's not like he's going to just fade into oblivion. He's got to be like
he could. I think he could slide into being an actor, no problem.
Yeah. No, seriously. Or like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, I've seen him do cameos on TV shows. He's got an acting ability.
He reminds me of John Cena. He like literally does.
Yeah. Trying to think. What free agents do you want Philly to go after if they can? I guess that's.
Can we not do this, man? I hate I've never seen my team this dysfunctional, dude. They are.
I saw you tweet either today or yesterday about how much you hate Howie Roseman. I'm like, oh, what happened now?
A joke, man. Dude, he botched the Wentz thing. Like, he just botched it. He's a fucking idiot. Now they're talking about the Eagles drafting a quarterback at 6, which I'm not even against, but it's like, why did you draft Hurts then? Like, why? What was the point of that? You ruined Wentz by drafting Hurts, drafted him in the second round. We had all these holes, and now you're just going to get rid of him when I think he was pretty fucking good in 4 games last year. Like, he wasn't great, but, dude, he was a rookie who obviously needs to develop, and he was playing with the
No, I think you got to see at least what you have with him.
Same.
Because I will say this, even though I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy, he clearly gave your team a different dynamic. I mean, he did things Carson Wentz can't really do.
I think you need to see the second-year jump on a quarterback, because that's usually when you see one of the biggest gaps.
Year 1 to year 2 with any player, really, is
exactly.
the biggest jump.
So it's like, dude, he's working his ass off right now. He's posting videos of him working out with the wide receivers, all this shit. Like, dude, let him play for a year. And if this is the way I look at it, if he's as bad as some people act like he's going to be, because we're not going to have a great roster, we're going to have a rookie coach, we're going to be fucking terrible and probably picking the top 8 or 9 next year anyway. So if he's bad, you're going to have a higher pick. You could package him and some shit to move up in the fucking draft and shit. Like, I hate it.
It's crazy how much this division, in my opinion, has taken a 180. Last year, I thought this was a Dallas-Philly division. And now it has quickly shifted to probably Washington or the Giants winning this division next year.
No, the Giants are still the worst team. The Giants are worse than the Eagles.
I don't think so.
Name one good player on the Giants besides Saquon Barkley. One.
Well, give me a minute.
There aren't any, dude. I know the division. There aren't any.
Well, Leonard. Okay, so Leonard Williams is all right. I think they have a above average defensive front. I think they need some edge rushers though to really get better.
I'm telling you, man. Joe Judge, I think, is like a
Joe Judge. I think is a good coach. That's mostly why I like him. I like the Giants a little bit, despite the fact that they really don't have any great players defensively. They were still a very good defense.
That's fair.
So,
I don't know, man. Like, and even it's like Saquon and dude, I love Saquon. I love his skill set. I think even he's a little bit overrated. What has he done?
That's what I've argued with my Giants friend for years.
Dude,
what has he gotten you? What has he gotten you?
Nothing. Nothing. You drafted a running back 2nd overall, and you've been fucking terrible ever since. Congratulations on that pick, bud.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything else to say.
We can do the predictions like next week.
I was just about to say, let's do it next week.
I think I'm gonna have a snow day tomorrow, so I can probably do it during the day if you want.
Is it supposed to snow tomorrow?
Dude, it's supposed to snow its balls off in Baltimore. So
really? I mean, we've had, I can't remember the last time I saw grass. It's just been snow on the ground for about 2 weeks.
Yep, it's about to be us here for about a week because we're supposed to get like 9 inches. So.
All right, my man. I'll let you go. We've talked a lot. We've argued, which is something we don't always do.
I told you we were going to argue when we talked.
You did. You did. All right. I'll see you later.
Later, man.
Later.